Hello everybody, this is Gold Glee Gamer 1 and Dyne, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VI.
And it's time to make like a submariner and head underground to the northwest continent. Yeah, you actually want to remember that Figaro Castle can do this later on, because the hints were dropped earlier that they hit something and got stuck. And you can actually have that happen again later on. But for now, you have to head to Kohlingen. I don't think you can even access that area until later. Never tried that. Yeah, just head right out and head into town. There are two other areas you can get to. One you won't be able to get inside. The second is the Colosseum. But there's not much you can do in there right now.
Yeah, I figured as much.
These sand horses aren't too problematic. They're the same enemies you could run into on the desert on the other continent. But the enemies on the plains here will be different. And the town is back on the other side on that peninsula, right there. So, we have to go to the cafe for a third time. But
Actually, that's the third time today.
Yep. Don't really need new items. Still have plenty. And the diamond armor is an upgrade. It's handy to have, but if you have diamond vests, they're good for now. The gold lance, you definitely want that for Edgar. The trump is for Setzer. Do not buy it yet, because it will attempt to instant kill enemies. The next dungeon is full of undead enemies, and it will do absolutely nothing to them.
Yeah, I can't even buy it anyway. I don't have enough money.
Yep. So, but first of all, you'd want to get the stout spear, or whatever that was, the gold lance for Edgar, because he has no weapon at all. I can see how Rachel's doing. She's still in suspended animation. The crazy guy will just say, "Hey, if you're looking for an ancient treasure, that's where you'll find Locke."
I just remember there's this one house where we'll find Shadow.
Shadow's not here. Yeah, those two are trying to plant some seeds, but with the state of the world.
Sorry, my mistake. No, it's Setzer.
Yeah, he's in the cafe. That's why we have to go in there. And this is the scene that inspired the viewer to ask me to do Drunk Setzer for the rest of my LP.
Well,
I don't know if I have it in me anymore. I'm just a gambler. I just want to be left alone. This world's too chaotic for me. What's worse, I lost my wings.
Oh, that's pretty good.
How is that? We can never have that world back.
You want to live in this world as it is? No? Then do something about it.
Alright, you win. I'm starting to feel lucky. I needed that. Let's go visit Daryl's tomb.
Hey, right behind you, Setzer.
You're gonna get us another one. Airship, that is. And it doesn't come stocked with a bar, unfortunately. Yeah, the new airship doesn't have a free healing spot, unfortunately.
But luckily, it doesn't fly away on its own.
And for whatever reason, Daryl's tomb was not accessible in the World of Balance. So, Setzer's now in your party. I don't think he's automatically equipped. But you now have all three of the required party members to beat the game with. Plus saving. And Setzer's not learning magic whatsoever. Yeah,
So you're saying that Celis, Edgar, and Setzer are required for the final fight?
Yep. Well, not for the final fight, but they're the only party members you have to recruit in the second half of the game. Because you recruit them as part of the plot.
Oh, okay. So it's okay. So so what happens if you forget to recruit them?
You can't. You can't advance. Because you can't get to Kefka's tower without the airship, and you can't get the airship without Setzer. And you can't get to Setzer without Edgar. And of course, since Celeste was the party member of Focus, when this half of the game started, you have her from the beginning.
Okay.
But you don't have to go to Zen to get Sabin. So this is an interesting dungeon. The first room has unique enemies. Everywhere else has different enemies. So if you're going for all the enemies in the game, do a little bit of fighting in here. Otherwise, not necessary. Now this dungeon is a bit of a puzzler. So it's a power demon. You'll also fight Marlboros in here, if I remember correctly. But the dangerous enemies are the ones that will zombify you. So you want to have those revivifies handy, and if you have amulets, equip those. So can't do anything about that until the water level is. This room is a bit of a puzzle. You will find something to carve in another room.
Yeah, I was wondering what is up with that. I was wondering what order I put the code in, though.
It's actually a message that's backwards. Once you translate it forward, it makes sense. But once you solve that puzzle, it just gives you a hint on where the experience egg is. It's a relic that will double the experience of whoever's equipped with it. So super handy for grinding, but you don't need to solve the puzzle to be able to find it. And the Crystal Mail is a nice armor upgrade for either Celeste, Edgar, or Setzer. Yeah, the experience egg is if you start standing one space down on that chest and head down, you'll enter a hidden wall, and you'll just want to head right and up from there. That's where you'll find the egg. Oh, Mad Oscar, which is actually a Marlboro, has the infamous Bad Breath ability. Unfortunately, they are not too much of a pain. They really don't start becoming a big pain until Final Fantasy VII. And it's in Final Fantasy X where you want to run away from them on first sight. Okay, these exo rays are ones that can zombify you. Take them out quickly. It won't be too much of a problem. Yeah, the Marlboros usually don't attack with Bad Breath right away. And Oregon. Yeah, 3 magic points. This isn't a bad place to work on developing magic. So unless you go for the experience egg, there's nothing else to do in this room.
Yep.
Oh, gonna be 3 of these guys. And they are weak against fire. Yeah, really the only tools Edgar ever needs are the auto crossbow and drill. The rest are just situational. Yeah, Setzer needs to be taught some magic. I don't think Edgar knows any either. Right, come in here, examine the tombstone, open up another room.
Yep.
Yeah, this dungeon's not very long, it's just a bit of a puzzle.
Oh, it's quite the puzzle, I'll give it that.
Has these annoying enemies. But actually the more annoying enemies in this dungeon are the ones that are in that other room that you really spend no time in whatsoever. Sourmouth, okay, that is Bad Breath. I really don't know why they translated it that way. It looks like it hits all enemies, but fortunately only hits one. It just hits you with as many status elements as possible, so if you have any remedies, that's what you want to use. Or if you know the Essena spell. He's also poison and blind, but again, blind does nothing in this game.
Oh yeah, Dre was telling me that like a long time ago.
Yep, I also mentioned it back on the river. Okay, so that will raise the water level. And there's only one more area to explore before moving forward. And actually, that southeast room, I think it just has a treasure chest in it.
So it's probably worthless then.
Not really. At this point in the game, you want to get at every treasure chest you can, because you're going to start getting the best stuff you can get from them. But you can come back here at any time. There is no dungeon you cannot return to at this point in the game.
So at this point, once you get the airship, the sky's the limit.
Yep, you can go pretty much anywhere you want. Just have to be strong enough to deal with the enemies.
Yep.
So I'll flip that switch right there to raise the water level in here. Here is where you'll learn the clues on what to carve in that other puzzle room. And it's actually a backwards message.
UARE QSSI.
Heracles? What's Kingdom Hearts? He's the guy from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Yeah, but the message is actually backwards. So you just kind of have to decipher it and carve it into the other tombstone. But the message itself is the world is square.
Okay.
You just have to examine these tombstones to be able to carve it in.
ORLD. Oh, okay. Okay. The world is square. All right. Okay, I think I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, just have to go back to that room.
Well, I could use the extra grinding for an upcoming boss.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are actually two bosses in here. One mini-boss and the main boss. The mini-boss is the only one that can be instantly killed by Edgar's chainsaw.
Yeah, but there's one that's much harder than that.
Yep.
One we'll probably see in the next part, if I ever successfully record that.
Yeah, the boss in here is one that people usually have trouble with. But the mini-boss is in the chest on the left.
This is Gold League Gamer 1 and Dyne. Later, folks.
Bye, guys.